Bitcoin is constantly changing and improving. These changes can be made by anyone, including you, if you really want it to. But how is that possible? Isn't it supposed to be decentralized without anyone having access to it? Well, it's a bit more complicated than you think. In this video, we will take a look on who makes changes in the Bitcoin network and how it's all done. I wasn't lying when I said that you can make a change to Bitcoin's code. Everyone can. Bitcoin is an open source project, which means that anyone can download its code and look for possible improvements. If you find something, all you need to do is file a BIP, or Bitcoin Improvement Proposal. It is a document where you write an implementation and also the reason for it. Then you go to Bitcoin's GitHub and upload the document to its community. And that's it. It's really that easy. However, it doesn't update automatically like your file when you click save. This BIP must be approved by miners and also by all the Bitcoin nodes. The worst part about it is that your proposal will likely be rejected, because you are not the first one who has looked into that code. But let's say you want to change the size of each new block from 2 MB to 1 MB and it actually gets approved. What's next? The implementation of your proposal is called a fork, and there are two types, soft forks and hard forks. Soft fork is the simpler one. Here, the change applies when 51% of the network approves your BIP, and miners don't have to do anything else, such as changing their software for mining. Everything updates automatically by the network itself. It is used to add new features and functions that do not change the fundamental rules a blockchain must follow. Let's break this down with an example. Imagine this is the blockchain, and these blocks currently have a size of 2 MB. Let's say the network decides that on the third block, the soft fork will execute. What this fork will actually do is create a second version of Bitcoin that allows only blocks with a size of 1 MB. Although the old version could still work and validate new blocks, any block larger than 1 MB will get declined. So basically, we can say that soft forks are backward compatible, which means that nodes that do not upgrade to the newer version will still see the chain as valid. However, it also motivates them to upgrade as soon as possible. Hard forks are the complete opposite. They aren't backward compatible, which means the old version isn't able to validate new blocks. With hard forks, we can manage more complicated changes, such as new blockchain rules and so on. However, when a hard fork happens and adds new features to the blockchain, it doesn't mean the old version will stop existing. It also looks like a fork. Imagine this is Bitcoin, and here the change happens. This is the old code of Bitcoin, and this is the new, updated one. Then it's only up to the community to decide which way to go. A hard fork basically splits the blockchain into two separate blockchains, or simply put, two different cryptocurrencies, the old one and the new one. This can be well illustrated by the real example from 2017, when Roger Ver wanted to have blocks with a size of 8 MB instead of 1 MB.
What's your gross annual revenue for Exotica?
None of your business.
Isn't it? Less than $1 million, huh?
It has nothing to do
Your
with this
gross
conversation.
annual revenue is less than $1 million, so that
Of
means you don't
course.
know how to run a successful business. Of course, we do more than $1 million in sales.
Bitcoin is not a
on most
business,
days.
Roger. We're not running a business here.
So what he did was implement a hard fork or a new version of Bitcoin where blocks have a size of 8 MB. However, the original version of Bitcoin remained unchanged. The unchanged one is still called Bitcoin, while his version received the new name, Bitcoin Cash. Some miners moved to his new cryptocurrency with the new code, but the real ones stayed with the original Bitcoin because they didn't like the change. Here you can clearly see that not every upgrade that proceeds through miners can be considered successful. Both cryptocurrencies share the same history up until the day the fork happened, but from that day onward, they are completely different cryptocurrencies with their own properties and prices. The question is, if there were Bitcoin investors on the day the fork happened, what did they actually own after the fork? Well, they owned both currencies. It was essentially free money for them. And what about the price? Price is always driven by demand and supply. Always. If those investors started selling these big cash coins, it resulted in a big supply. And if there was no one to buy them, it ended up with low demand as well. So you can guess what happened. The market itself decided everything. For example, Bitcoin's price remained unchanged because there were more people who didn't like the change. Now you can clearly see which way was the right one, or at least if you aimed for profit. But let's say a fork like this happens tomorrow. Part of the investors and miners will move to the new upgraded version, and part will stay. What now? Which one is the right one? It all depends only on you. If you like the change, you can move to the newer version. If not, you can stay. And yes, it has happened many times before. Apart from the original Bitcoin, we have also Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Private, Bitcoin Red, and many more. You haven't even heard of some of them, right? That's because the majority of the community decided to stick with Bitcoin, the one that doesn't look like a scam. This is also the reason why no one can increase Bitcoin supply. The first thing that would stop them are miners and nodes. If they didn't stop it, they would betray only themselves, since they would be making less money. However, even if they approve this change, no one would stick with them. If you watched this video till the end, please don't subscribe or like. Instead, write a comment about what you liked and what you didn't. I need to know what should I improve. Thank you.